Warning, the views and beliefs in the following program does not reflect the views of Boom Broadcasting. We give full creative control to our creators and do not believe in cancel culture. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we got some big money graps to yap about. Viewer discretion is advised.
Live from the MOWM studio, Boom Broadcasting presents The Nightcap. And your host of The Nightcap, mouthing off with Mike.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Nightcap here on Boom Broadcasting, hosted by yours truly. I am, in fact, the Mike that likes to mouth off. I am mouthing off with Mike. Well, tonight, I guess I'm Mike in the bank here, and I am joined here by one of my favorite people. We haven't seen them in a very long time here on a Nightcap. That is Tortellini. How the hell you been, Tortellini? Welcome back for a Nightcap sesh.
I've missed y'all. I've missed yapping.
We are so excited for you to be back here so we can yap about these graps. And as you build it today, the big money graps, because it's money in the bank, baby.
Big money grabs.
Big money grabs. Folks, today has been, I hope you guys didn't sprint through today's wrestling because it has been a marathon of professional wrestling. We started off the afternoon with Worlds Collide, and then we transitioned right into Money in the Bank about an hour after. So it has been a marathon of professional wrestling. We got four sides of the ring in the building. You know what I mean? Tortellini, there was a lot of wrestling tonight. Before we kind of start talking about Money in the Bank, I do want to touch base on a little bit here of some Worlds Collide action that we saw. We had 5 incredible matches here with various talent from AAA and, of course, talent from NXT and WWE. Even TNA was in the mix here at Worlds Collide with Octagon Jr. In action. So we'll start there and briefly talk about what did you think of Worlds Collide, folks? Put your comments in the chat here as we go through them. But Tortellini, any standout moments for you here from Worlds Collide?
All of it. Is that an acceptable answer?
That is an acceptable answer.
So I admittedly missed most of it because I was out and about, but the highlights I did see, first of all, Chad Gable, a certified hooper.
Chad and Vikingo had a match of the year.
I would like a best of 7. I don't care how y'all do it. Get it done.
Get it done. I thought that Chad was going to end up somehow capturing the AAA Mega Championship in kind of a shock win here. That didn't happen. Vikingo did retain the championship. And I thought this was pretty cool. This was one of the standout moments for me here tonight, was the ending of Worlds Collide here with, with all of the AAA wrestlers that we saw, Pagano, Psycho Clown, we had Blue Demon, my new favorite, AAA star, mega star, I need him. In WWE, Mr. Iguana, you had Octagon Jr., Laredo Kid, Lindsay Dorado, all hosting up Viking. I thought it was a cool moment. And then you got Javon Evans back there just hanging out with everyone.
I mean,
he's just like, I'm happy to be.
Basically is an honorary lucha. Like, I don't, the way he flies, listen, they said, oh yeah, you can hang with us. It's all right. We got you.
They watched him in that fatal 4-way and they said, all right, you know what? You
Close
are
enough.
One of us. Come on over here. You're invited to the carne asada. Facts. Listen. I loved Worlds Collide here today, Tortellini. Definitely because of our new favorite wrestler, Mr. Iguana.
I need to know more about this man.
He is incredible. He had some super great spots in the 6-man
I heard the Iguana was taking bumps.
The Iguana ended up taking a Spanish fly from Lindsay Dorado. Lindsay Dorado, not a fan of Le Fresca. So he was he was not a fan. He kept scaring the iguana, and it wasn't kind. Liv Morgan even almost felt the wrath of Vriska, the iguana. So Liv, you better watch out because
watch out, girl.
It might be coming for you. I wasn't interested in Worlds Collide, but put it on when I got the notification that it started. Hot damn, the intro, the presentation, and the matches were top notch.
So
they
saw a lot of comments about just the overall presentation and especially the entrances of the AAA talent, that it was honestly otherworldly.
Yeah, it was special. I mean, you could feel how special it meant. Like, this is kind of where, like, we were like, it's a little funky. You had Conan on commentary with Corey Graves, which on my bingo card in 2025 did not see that being the commentary duo. But they had a great video package, from the the When Worlds Collide that happened in '94, paying ode to the past and how much it meant back then and how much this means. I would like to see more of these, to be honest with you. If WWE has acquired AAA in some capacity, I would like to see them do these quarterly, do them 4 times a year.
I was going to say, it definitely seemed like they were hinting at some type of prohibited portal, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't say the other one. The other company owns that. So
the Forbidden Door. Yeah.
But there is clearly some type of prohibited portal about to be opened, and I'm very excited for it because if they continue on the way that they did Worlds Collide, like for all of the other events, it's really going to be good. Just can we not disrespect everybody and maybe put this on Peacock next time? YouTube was kind of crazy.
Listen, it's crazy though. 1.3 million viewers tuned in to Worlds Collide, to both the US stream and the Mexico stream.
It's about to get another 1.3 for me.
It's Worlds Collide ended up giving us a 5th and final match to Money in the Bank, with Octagon Jr. challenging Dom Mysterio, which we'll talk about here in a minute. Good. I thought this was a good move to build a match for Money in the Bank from Worlds Collide and kind of make it seem like people who didn't tune in missed out on a big angle.
On something big, yeah.
Yeah. I thought
because
that was
by the time I tuned in, I saw Vikingo or Octagon about to beat somebody's ass, and I was like, wait, what did I miss?
Yeah, no, absolutely. That was really clever. Didn't expect to go 3 hours, but it flew by. It was a great 3 hours wrestling.
I'm impressed for 3 hours.
Yeah, I would say that Worlds Collide could be at the end of the year, we might look back and say like that might have been one of the best premium live events WWE put out, but we'll see how
I wasn't expecting it to be 3 hours. I was like, okay, maybe like a cute little hour and a half, 2 tops.
No, they went 3. Yeah, they went for 3 hours.
Yeah, go ahead
Chad
and run this
Vikingo,
Hunter. Mm-hmm.
They got a lot of time in that main event. I mean, you got to give credit here to Stephanie. Double duty tonight, wrestled at Worlds Collide.
That was gonna be my next point. I very much enjoyed Lola Vice with Stephanie.
I did.
I've also enjoyed seeing how much Lola has grown. Now, I was a little, skeptical about her.
Yeah. I mean, she was in NXT. It's developmental. That's the whole, like, we get hung up. I mean, honestly, NXT is being presented as something a little bit different now, but at its core, it's still developmental.
It's still developmental, and she's doing great.
Yeah, I think so. I'd like to see more of Chick Tormenta and Dallas. Absolutely. I'd like to see them more. Obviously we can tune into them with, watching AAA, but yeah, I'd like to see them, a little bit more crossover here. I don't have any complaints whatsoever from Worlds Collide. I thought it was one of the more fun shows we've gotten from a WWE branded show. I think it made a lot of wrestlers and lucha libre specialists here tonight get some main focus, and it helped out, and helping to build towards Triple Mania, at the in the middle of the summer here. So I think it was a total win overall for both sides here. I think AAA came out of this looking good, even though they only won two?
I think just 1 or 2.
Yeah, 2 out of 5 matches. So I mean, that we can work on, but still, nonetheless, pretty solid.
Okay.
Shadow said, give me my flowers for that call. Ron is my dog. Shadow, we'll talk a little bit about what Shadow had to call here when we get into the main event of Money in the Bank. But Worlds Collide, 10 out of 10 for me personally. If you guys haven't checked it out in its entirety, go back on YouTube after the Nightcap. All right, don't leave us now. We're just getting started.
Don't leave.
Yeah, this was just
we haven't
like
even started yet.
Worlds Collide is like the foreplay for the Money in the Bank Nightcap. Like,
Just
we're
the
not
appetizer.
even. Yeah, this is just the appetizer. We'll talk a little bit more about Shadow. You don't have to apologize. That's just a great segue for later, dog. Please, never.
Don't worry,
We don't need apologies.
We got you.
We got you, big dog. We love you here. Let's get into Money in the Bank, folks. I am. I forgot about Worlds Collide. To be honest, it was a long day for wrestling here. It was a long fucking day.
Collision's not on, is it?
No, Collision was on the 4-hour bracket of Wednesday for Dynamite. That was Collision. The second 2 hours, that was, we're good. We're good. Technically, right now, I could be in Tempe for the TNA TV tapings, but I wanted to hang out with all of you guys here and talk Money in the Bank. But last night against All Odds was incredible, man. It was so cool to get to see Joe Hendry, get to see the Hardys, got to meet Joe Hendry.
Getting a picture with Joe Hendry, big money.
I know, dude. No, yeah, listen, I have to say, it was a solid deal on the photo autograph combo. So I was like, you know what, I'll show some love, I'll support, just splurge a little bit, treat yourself, But man, oh man, this weekend of wrestling has been incredible. And I after watching Worlds Collide Tortellini, I was like, how the fuck are they gonna follow this up? And they followed it up, folks. The women's Money in the Bank ladder match. We got Stephanie Vacuor, Little Miss double duty, 3 matches in 18 hours.
3 matches
over the last
in
3 matches.
18 hours.
18 hours. We got Alexa Bliss. We got Mommy Rhea Ripley. We got the prodigy Roxanne Perez. We've got Proceed with Caution Naomi. And of course, we've got the beautiful Madness Julia. And what could only be described as one of the greatest women's Money in the Bank ladder matches assembled on paper. Does it live up to the hype, Tortellini?
This went way better than I expected. I already expected great things, but this exceeded what I thought was going to happen.
I respect it.
I think my slight gripe between both men and the women's Money in the Bank is like, at a point, it almost gets a little too predictable for me. At no point did I know where we were going with this.
That's a fair assessment.
Honestly, I thought this was Stephanie's. Listen, they just made my girl the workhorse of the weekend with 3 matches in 18 hours. I was like, they have to give it to her. There's no way. However, my prediction was correct.
We were correct, ladies and gentlemen. This one, personally, I feel for her probably means absolute world, Tortellini. But this right here, this image, this is what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. This is what it's all about. Miss Money in the Bank, Naomi. I can't even begin to describe how she feels because I don't know what she feels in this very moment, or currently right now on the post show on Peacock. But Tortellini, what do you think about this? What do you think about this win for Naomi?
This was long overdue and incredibly well deserved, especially with the way that Naomi has not only completely changed her character, but how she's run the social media, running the game with Bianca, pulling up at her house, knocking out Jade every chance she gets. She really campaigned for herself and made herself stick out. She said, oh, y'all clearly weren't seeing the glow, so I'm going to make sure that you see it regardless. And that she did.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think it kind of, it brings a tear to my eye, to be honest with you. Because,
no, I'm getting a noise violation on my door tomorrow.
Oh, I mean, and I'll pay it for you. Don't worry. Well, actually, we'll get the Prez's credit card. We'll pay for it. Don't worry. It's on.
Actually,
it's on Boom.
Hunter's paying it.
Hunter's paying it. Okay, understood. Paul, Triple H, triple fraud. As I think that's what they're calling him now, triple fraud. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. If you got, listen, Trips, you're right there with Sean. I know you guys, had a nice little moment at the Hall of Fame. You can talk to him every once in a while. He can give you some tips on how to really capitalize on your women that you have right now.
I know
Because
you got him on speed dial. I know he's pinned in your iPhone at the top of the messages. I know it.
He's probably pinned above Stephanie at this point.
He is.
He is.
That's not even a question, brother. He is.
16 years of emotion to this moment. Big E.
The other part of this is the fact that Big E and Naomi are the only two Black winners in the entire history of Money in the Bank.
Speak on that, because right there, that's criminal.
Which does not sit well with my spirit at all. But here we are. 16 years.
16 years, folks. She has accolades. We can't dispute them. She's a former
We're not going to dispute that,
knockout women's champion, but this is the moment for her.
This is the big one.
Yeah. It's good to see her get her flowers when, while she's here, while she's in the company. I mean, we know the history here, right? Naomi and Sasha Banks walking out of WWE, the biggest walkout probably since Stone Cold Steve Austin. You know what I mean? And of course, now we come back all these years later, she gets this crazy reaction in the Royal Rumble and she finally comes back. And this is her fifth women's Money in the Bank ladder match. I literally had said she has been in 3 of them prior. I was wrong. She was in 4 of them up to this point, and she came short in each and every one. And the crazy part is most of the memorable moments in the first 2, 3 that she was in came from her alone. So good. She
is the moment. She is the it girl. I argue with your mother. Argue with whatever deity you believe in. Naomi is the it girl.
She has been the MVP, I think, underrated MVP for the women's division since they turned her character into this proceed with caution character. And she's, diabolical. She's
fully enjoy it.
Fucking razor blades in ice cream cakes.
Razor blades in the cake was crazy.
Becky's a heel and she's a downright tyrant, but Naomi is diabolical.
She's not actually committing violence like Naomi. I'm sorry.
She's not willing to commit some war crimes.
Naomi pulled up at Bianca's parents' house.
Looking through the photo album, the family albums.
I mean, what's she going to do next? Pull a hangman and burn it down?
Mom in a wheelchair. She was talking about putting her mom in a wheelchair.
But she was in a wheelchair.
I know. It's crazy. Shadow says he thinks a lot of her ship booking was receipts from managements for her walking out stuff, but she handled it with grace. She handled it. She did handle it. That's, when they go low, you take the high road. You know what I mean? And
that she did. She said, okay, I'm going to go work on myself, make a big ass name for me. And then y'all are going to want me back. And that's exactly what happened.
Become the poster child of TNA's Knockouts division and run that gauntlet and have some incredible matches. And then not only that, but I feel like because of Naomi going to TNA, it put Jordynne Grace right on their radar. It put them on their radar right back again. As we've seen, now they're both in the company. So it's kind of wild, like the dominoes that fall to get to where we're at. But it's kind of, I guess we'll use a Cody Rhodes word here tonight. It's apropos for Naomi in a sense, because it kind of comes all full circle for her, at the end of the day.
This is full circle for her.
I'm happy.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, sometimes WWE and wrestling, they don't give us what we want. I'm happy that they saw this and they realized, okay, we have to, this is the direction we need to go. And they went in that direction. Hunter's
on that burner big time. And I think
he's never off social media. They see everything, guys. I know Corey, like the newest wrestling insider on the block on social media, who is a really good guy. He has said many a times, like, they see everything. They do see everything. So
if you don't think they see it, they see it.
They see it. They know who we are. They know who Mouthing Off of Mike is. I know that for sure.
I know for a fact that every time I call Hunter a new name, he's got like my tab open and then writes down a new one.
keeping tabs on us here. But let's talk a little bit about what we saw in this match, because we saw some incredible spots here. Number one, we have to talk about it here, Tortellini. You know what I'm going to talk about. There's a certain kind of kiss. It's not the devil's. Yes, that's the devil's kiss. So, what did you think about that devil's kiss spot on the ladder to mommy?
That I was looking at Stephanie. Y'all know I love Rhea bigly. The way that Stephanie just like lit up when she heard the crowd after that. Do it again. Honestly, listen, I think that Rhea should have gotten up and then did it again.
Just listen. Stephanie Valkyria has gotten over because of that devil's kiss. I have to say, at the end of the day, it seems like a lot of where we're at with her has become that move, and I hope that doesn't become like a thing. But I feel like it is already a thing.
No, it's already. It's been a thing since before they named it.
Oh man, Sean said WWE put on a great presentation, especially coming off a hot AEW Double or Nothing. Yeah, I mean. WWE, a lot of the talk had been times which, kind of switching back when it came to a lot more people saying, I think it's time to tune in to AEW. And I think you should tune into AEW.
I mean, you should.
You should watch. If you can watch more wrestling, I say watch more wrestling. It doesn't hurt anybody. It just helps yourself enjoy more wrestling.
And honestly, would not have discovered some of my current favorites without branching out to other wrestling. Sorry, folks.
Right there, ladies and gentlemen. Right there. Oh, look,
ain't no brand loyalty over here.
I think Cody Rhodes got a special jacket on tonight here on the press conference. Looks like he's wearing. It looks like he has like the logo of the wrestling club on his jacket.
Oh, he did get a jacket from them.
Yeah, he's rocking the wrestling club's jacket right now here. The special made Nightmare.
Oh, I can't wait to check Twitter. I need to see Victor's reaction to this.
I'm sure Vic.
So good. So cute.
Dude. And our boy Brandon, the belt collector, had made a couple titles for them. I love seeing that stuff, man. It warms my heart.
Let me talk about the workhorse of this match.
Please. Yes. The prodigy.
I will admit, I was really nervous about the rookies in this match. Like, logistically speaking, I know that all of them are certified hoopers and can go, but like, I feel like a ladder match is just a bit of a different breed for this. Nope.
She delivers.
I really don't have words. I'm so sorry. I really don't have words, man.
Listen, I'll give you a couple words.
This match was really, really good.
Listen, I probably said this last year during the Nightcap for Money in the Bank with the women's ladder match, and I'll probably say I probably said it the year before that. I mean, this could be a top 5, like maybe squeaks. Like, I sound like it's recency bias as fuck, but like, I mean, we saw so much action in this match. I mean, there was only like one little slip up when the ladder went into business for itself, when it decided not to fold.
That's on the ladder.
That's on the ladder. Exactly.
That's not on the talent. That's on the ladder. Why didn't the ladder do its job?
Exactly. See, actually, we're paying these ladders, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and we're putting sponsors on them too while we're at it. Yeah, it totally took the words right out of my mouth. We got some time set aside to talk a little bit about that. I love it.
I can't wait for the notes on who produced this match, because I feel like I know who did it.
Who do you think?
First of all, Jason Jordan's on this. Rhea Ripley's in it. Jason Jordan's on it. They are peanut butter and jelly.
I was gonna even say I feel like this one has a Jeremy Borash vibe to it. Maybe a little JB, maybe a little Abyss as the producer. Abyss.
I was gonna say it's kind of giving Abyss a little bit, but we'll see.
We'll find out.
I enjoyed the Rhea Ripley Alexa Bliss stare down. I await that match. Thank you very much, Hunter. I would like to also see all 6 of these women in singles matches against each other in some way, shape, or form. Hunter, call me. I've got the plan written up right now, babe.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, the beginning of this match started with the 3 staples of WWE, you know, Rhea Ripley, Alexa Bliss, and Naomi on one side of the ring, and we have the three rookies, you know, or as Pat McAfee called them, the Young Bucks. I was like, Pat, you've been watching a little bit too much AEW.
No, because I said the who.
And he also made a comment later on where he was like, let the bodies hit the floor. And
I
was like, wait a minute,
literally tweeted that. I said, so we're quoting bodies like there wasn't another song with bodies in it after Anna.
I mean, it's obviously it's coincidence. Where is it? But I love the start.
Coincidence.
Wink, wink. I love the start of this match with the three women of the, I guess at this point we're gonna have to say generations, even though Rhea really isn't like that. Rhea is like in like the in between of like the Alexa Naomi,
literally a year younger than me.
Exactly. And then you have Alexa, who's not really kind of technically in with the Naomi generation.
Yeah, she's like in the middle.
Like they're not like 100% in like kind of like the sense of like when we saw like Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, and John Cena, you know, in that Rumble from a few years ago. So it was like funny to see it, but I get what they tried to do there and show like the invasion of the up and coming talent,
kids.
Right? The new kids on the block. I thought that was a really slick way. Obviously, the Devil's Kiss on the ladder, Chef's Kiss. There was the in stereo code reds on the ladders, which was insane.
About to say that was nuts. I would also like to talk about two of the Razor's Edge that Rhea Ripley decided to throw. One, throwing Roxanne and Naomi.
Disrespectful.
What the hell? And Roxanne countering Razor's Edge with the Hurricane Rana into the ladder.
Yeah, there was a lot of to
again,
be honest,
got to give it to my workhorse, Stephanie, getting put in the octopus stretch, but climbing up the ladder. Yeah.
It's insane what that woman can do. And then Julia being shoved in the rung of the ladder, hitting the suplex from the ladder while stuck in said ladder. That was incredible. I mean, there were so many spots. I feel like this is a match that you got to kind of go back and rewatch and watch it with a magnifying glass. It might be it might have to be a run it back scenario here for this one. If we were to give this, and you guys know at this point, mouthing off with Mike, we don't believe in match ratings. We don't believe in star ratings. I think it's all trivial bullshit for people to harp up themselves and get overworked up, you know, but I like to have fun with it. We're in LA. LA is known for its palm trees and other trees,
weather,
and the warm weather and the beaches and the, you know, and the other things that, you know, are there. But we'll say out of palm trees. Let's go palm trees here. Tortellini, out of 5 palm trees, what would you give the women's
6.
Money in the Bank ladder?
It's a 6, dog.
Why do I feel like I'm on an episode of Family Feud and someone just rang in before Steve finished the question? Yeah, 6. Is it on 6 on the board?
Okay, so this also goes back into like my slight issues with how they choose who's in Money in the Bank. The women were all very cohesive. Like everybody has a storyline with somebody in there in the past like 3 months. Right?
Yeah.
But they also all worked really, really well together. Roxanne and Rhea together, I don't care what kind of match you put them in, that is Rhea's baby. And again, all of these women need a singles match with each other.
What if you were to give? Okay, so we have Queen of the Ring starting Monday on Raw.
Oh yeah, so Julia is actually gonna win that because the way she's looking at Zelina, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think Julia is gonna go for the U.S. title, but I don't think Julia is getting the Queen of the Ring. I think we could be seeing a situation where Stephanie pulls it out. Queen Stephanie Vacure, Queen Vacure. There's a ring to it. I think you might end up getting to see some of those singles matches that you want to see during this tournament, or you may see them in Fatal 4-Way variety. Because it does seem like Triple H did listen to the Nightcap last week when we said, wow, there's a lot of triple threat tournament matches. How come never Fatal 4-Ways or anything else? Or
Fatal we're definitely getting Fatal. Well, didn't they announce that for King and Queen of the Ring, it was going to start in like the Fatal 4-Way and then drop off? Yep.
There's going to be 4 Fatal 4-Ways, and then it's going to go into a singles competition. So they switched it up on us. So they're listening. They're listening at some point. Tortellini's going 6 palm trees for the women's ladder match. I gotta go with her here. We're gonna give it 6, man. Incredible. No notes, 10 out of 10, extra credit. All the women, I guess, as they would say, all the women came out in this match and they served.
They ate. No crumbs.
They ate. No crumbs.
And for Rhea Ripley to be scared of ladders and heights. Good job, girl.
And Rhea Ripley never being in a ladder match. There's a detail for us. Never in the career of mommy Rhea Ripley has she been in a ladder match. Tonight was her first ladder match. That kind of blew my mind.
That's really wild.
Now, before we move on, does it scare you at all, Tortellini, that the entire weekend, the entire night tonight, they constantly hit on the fact that the women's briefcase has successfully been cashed in 100% of the time? Do you feel that is a bad omen for the Naomi? Is it too soon to tell for the Naomi Money in the Bank run?
Nope. Because I was going to bring that point up during the men.
Oh, okay. All right. So no. All right. Let's talk about it.
I think they continue the safe streak. Also, it is very much time to get that belt off Tiffany.
It is time. I think the ideal scenario is Jade somehow takes the title off her. Naomi cashes it on Jade. And we just, we start something crazy. Or Bianca. Naomi cashes in on Bianca.
I'd like to see it.
It'd be interesting. There's some angles here. I think Triple H has something special for those 3 down the line. I mean, I guess we might as well. It's a good segue to talk about it. WrestleMania formally announced. We're back in Vegas. Double down for WrestleMania in Vegas. So couldn't be seen. Boo. Tomato.
I'm not taking out a loan to go. I'm sorry. I'll be watching from the VIP section of my couch.
I did it this year, man. It was tough. We were 11th houring it both nights, where it was like we waited until an hour before night 1, before the show started, and on the walk over, we're buying the tickets. And then on night 2,
you were living on the edge.
We were 30 minutes till bell, and we were walking across the bridge. And when I was buying, my buddy was buying me the tickets and sending them to me because the listing was pulled, and he was only able to do it because I was too close to the stadium. So he ended up having to snag me the tickets and send them to me, and I had to send him the cash and everything. So it was like 11th hour for night 2 there, because it was almost impossible to get into night 2 because of John Cena. I feel like this year's WrestleMania is going to be different. I think WWE heard everyone complaining and stating like, look, this is too expensive. Like, we need to figure something out. So I have a feeling that they're not going to, I think they're going to be a little bit lower than what they were last year, but I still think that you're going to be in for a sticker shock when those tickets go on sale. And, people are looking at combo night tickets, and they're, $1,500 for, both nights.
Sit next to Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah, to sit next to Eddie Guerrero. Good segue. Speaking of Eddie Guerrero, shout out to Eddie. They showed him tonight in the video package with Worlds Collide. But his son, Intercontinental Champion, Dirty Dominic Mysterio, is a fighting champion, and I got to give him credit for this. He challenged Octagon Jr. at Worlds Collide for Intercontinental Championship impromptu match on Money in the Bank. And I will be honest with you, Tortellini, this match did not get into its 3rd gear for me. I thought it was an average match.
I felt like it got cut short.
It did feel like it got a little short. Yeah, see, I
was really excited for this. I was like, this is going to be a really fire match that's going to either end in a DQ because the Judgment Day is going to pull up. Like, I already know how this is going to end, whatever. They could have let Dom hoop just a little bit longer.
And I feel like especially after Worlds Collide. Like Octagon Jr. had a great showing in that, and he had some good little spurts in this match. But I just don't think they let them get into that third gear. Like it just kind of felt like it was like this car stalled at the end, and that was it. Like we're done. Like Liv's in her.
You want the official match time?
What was the official match time on it?
4 minutes and
4 minutes?
minutes.
Yeah, I mean, you could have at least given that 8 minutes and at least let it get into. You couldn't even get a chance to get into third gear. Let's get it in the second gear first, I guess.
Because I feel like we spent a lot of time, and that's a very loose we spent a lot of time focusing on what was going on the, which is, I get, sorry, but this is like my gripe with most Dominic Mysterio matches. They don't let him hoop. You don't have that man that worked over 100 matches between 2023, 2024 or whatever, when he like hit that ceiling, win the North American title twice. And now you have him as IC champ and you're not letting him hoop. I'm confused. You guys, WWE has like praised, from what I've seen, like of reports backstage, we're like praising Dom for how hard he's worked and like how much he's grown. Great. Let us see it. The only thing I'm like content with is that Dom, in a sense, won clean.
He did. Yeah. See, that's such a he did, but he didn't, because Liv was right there and Liv distracted Octagon for that split second, and it's
correct.
That's what
like,
it's.
I guess
it's tough.
clean in the sense like the whole entirety of the Judgment Day didn't roll up.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Noticing big things there. The rest of the Judgment Day did not show up here.
I was fully convinced Finn Balor was going to come out and pull the screw job of a lifetime.
I thought, see, that would have been interesting to say the least, because then a TNA star, because nobody, except Michael Cole tonight, nobody mentioned during Worlds Collide that Octagon Jr. is in fact a TNA star. Obviously,
yeah,
one
they
TNA
really
star.
missed that, because I don't know anything about him. And then I was like, okay, he's hooping. I mean, he came out the gate just certified hooping with the tornillo, and I said, oh, work. I'm invested. But if you don't say where he's coming from, the average consumer who does not tune into TNA most of the time, how am I going to know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did they give him like a video pack? I don't think they gave him like
a
video.
No, they really didn't give you too much backstory onto like a lot of, like, they did kind of, some of them, it was more on commentary. Like if you listen to Conan, and mainly Corey Graves with a carry job of the century today on commentary. And he had some great calls during that. We didn't even talk about that fatal 4-way with Javon and Phoenix and Laredo and Paige, but
I know that was just a certified banger.
It was a hoop sesh, like the best way I can describe it. It was just all 4 guys got their shit in. They all looked incredible. Corey Graves had a great call with Evans from the Heavens. It was a solid call. Corey was cooking today. I have to give him credit. Our frequent flyer here, our regular at the Nightcap bar, Triple H seems to be a little more careful with the women's Money in the Bank latch. It was less high risk. Do you agree to that sentiment, Tortellini, or no?
Yes, because why was Liv Morgan not in this match? If there was somebody out of the entire current roster on both sides that is going to take a nasty bump, it is going to be Liv Morgan. We've seen her in Elimination Chamber. We've seen Liv on a regular Monday night. That is her game, man. If they wanted like big nasty spots, Liv should have been in it. And
Chelsea too. Chelsea loves them.
I know, but her face.
I know, but her poor face. I love her though for the mask though. She's slick for that. That's
Pride mask. My icon, my ally, my queen.
Yeah, Chelsea's goated, man. Dirty Dom, Octagon Jr. Yeah, I a little bit more left to be on the table there.
To maybe let's run that back.
Yeah, it was like
Monday night, if you choose.
Like send Dom the TNA for a night if you're feeling frisky. Have him pop up and I don't know. But I am noticing no Finn Balor, at Worlds Collide, no Finn Balor at Money in the Bank. So I think there's something brewing there with
himself.
Yeah, he's definitely distancing. It's going to be an ugly breakup. It's
time.
It's time. It is time.
It's time for
Finn Balor. Oh, don't do him in like that,
Oh,
Shadow.
don't do my man like that.
That's my guy. I wish I could get some. I wish I could get a We Want Finn movement started, man. Because the fact that I just can't even not even get into that conversation today. I'll spend another hour talking about what we went wrong with Finn.
I guess my dog is joining the ground.
Oh hi. Oh hi. Oh hi. Hi, puppy. Good dog. That's a good looking pup. That's a good looking pup.
She's a little naked right now. She got a haircut.
That's all right. That's all right.
Naked mole rat.
Oh man, the women's intercontinental championship was defended here by everyone's favorite bird lady, Lyra Valkyria, against the man Becky Lynch. And Tortellini, what do you got for this one?
Why? Why? And before y'all come at me, I fully understand how this works. I understand the fucking storyline. Don't come for me. But why? There was nobody. We couldn't have put together a quick 25-woman battle royal on Raw, a gauntlet match, perhaps. There was nobody else back there that could have squabbled up with Lyra for this one. Nobody.
They released them all.
Not a soul back there. Cool.
Yeah. Becky is the
Becky, watch that belt. Bailey's coming.
Yeah, no Bailey tonight, especially in LA. This match, okay.
15 minutes and 20 seconds is the official runtime.
Oh God. Okay. So 15 minutes here. I have to say for 15 minutes, that was a big, it was average. It was an average 15 minutes of wrestling for me. It was an average 15 minutes of wrestling. Nothing really jumped out at the screen at me on this match. I'll be honest.
I feel the same way only because I really enjoy Becky's promos and like her storyline work, but as far as in ring, she doesn't move me. Lyra was dog walking this lady. Lyra dog walked her. The leg drop through the barricade, I was like, oh, please check on Becky's neck. She's done. Beautiful. She's cooked. Like, that's it. Lyra's got it. However, Miss Bex decided to pull the tights. I saw it.
Yeah, we saw it. Michael Cole saw it. You saw it. I saw it.
Michael Cole said it. He said, no, she pulled the tights. Why didn't we run back the film?
It's a part 3. They're gonna run it back. A trio for the IC title. Obviously, it's match 4 for them because they've had 1 in NXT, now 2 for the IC title, and they'll make it a 3rd one. It'll be wings on a pole match. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be. There's gonna be a stipulation. Yeah, there's gonna be a stipulation involved.
Put it in a steel cage.
I think you look a little ahead towards Evolution in July. There could be some rumblings there. You might see it sooner than that. There's obviously 4 weeks of Raw that we have to get through till we get to July and the next Premium Live event. So
I fully expect a couple of title changes at Evolution.
Yeah, I think we are going to see something will change at Evolution. There will be a tag title change or a mid-card title change. Like I think you could see Zelina flop to Julia.
Mm-hmm.
I think you could maybe even say Liv and Raquel drop the tag titles to Kyrie and Io if Io's not wrestling for the world title.
Oh,
because I thought that match was going to take place tonight instead of Dom and Octagon.
I'm seated for that. Mm-hmm.
But now it seems.
Yeah, I'm here. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you could go in that direction. Our boy Shadow said he fell asleep during this match. His wife was texting him and he said, "I promise I love women's wrestling." No, we know you do, Shadow.
Hey man, it's a long day. It's all right. It's a long day.
We also did get to meet last night. At TNA. We got the photo proof. You got to check it out. If Shadow is one of the funniest dudes I know, man. And I don't even we've never even met personally. Hopefully, the next PLE. That's in Canada. I'll take a trip and head up to the north and
north.
I'll take a trip up north. They might throw me down. They might throw me down the Niagara Falls, but we'll see what happens. We'll play it out. Yeah, meh. I love it, Tortellini. If we had to give Dirty Dom and Octagon Jr. some palm trees, what would you give it?
3.5.
3.5. I was gonna say 2.5. So I'm a little bit behind you.
It was just rushed. Like, I'm giving it a 3.5 because Octagon cooked, and that's no shade to Dirty Dom, but Octagon came out the gate cooking.
The dodges from the kicks with Dirty Dom and, you know, ducking a Matrix style. I was like, oh, we're in for it.
And I don't, no pun intended, but I know nothing about Octagon, but he seems very cerebral in the sense that he kept catching Dirty Dom whenever he was lacking. It was really when Dom least expected to get caught up.
Yeah.
I'd like to see more.
I thought Lyra was the greatest wrestler on the roster. I was waiting for this comment.
She's a hooper.
She's a good wrestler, but I feel like tonight her and Becky just didn't have the chemistry. I mean, I just don't think it.
That's funny because I have seen very mixed reviews. Me personally, I think their NXT match was a little better, and I don't know if that's just like due to time off or just like, you know, getting back in the swing of things. But again, Lyra really dog walked this lady.
I thought the Backlash match was better than this match. 100%.
Yes. Correct.
And I feel like tonight, I think, I mean, I do agree with you. I think Lyra did dog walk Becky in a sense, but I also think that it takes two to tango. And I think just because of the lack of maybe, you know, Becky's just kind of running through the motions, right? I don't know. It's so hard to speculate on something like that.
But it's really hard to gauge it.
I think Lyra is a good wrestler. I think she needed, here's where it comes down to it. Not to get on a tangent, but Mark typically does this to me. I think she needed more development. And I think when they called her up to the main roster last year in that kind of like, you know, it was like real quick and it happened. I think she was involved in the draft or whatever. And at that time, I said she wasn't ready. I felt that Lyra could have used another 6 months to a year in NXT and hold the title for a stretch of time, you know, a little bit longer than what she had at that point, and kind of help develop what this character is and how she is the goddess of, you know, the birds or, you know, whatever it is, whatever the lore is, right? That's the problem. I don't even know her lore anymore because we've kind of just turned it into she's Becky's protege with the Becky feud. So I was always in the side of Lyra could have used
a little more
bit of time in NXT and develop that out. But she's here. She's getting on premium live events. She's living her dream. So good for her. It didn't fit the card because it was lazy booking. Unless you're going to play into Dom finally earning a lucha mask and setting up Ray versus Dom, the retirement.
I think Ray should have come out.
Basically having Dom earn his Mysterio name. It was great to see Ray at Worlds Collide. Ray's rocking the beard too. That was wild to see Rey Mysterio with a beard.
Under the mask?
Yeah, he had a beard. Yeah. I'm almost like maybe I need to get my eyes checked, but I could have swore I had a little bit of a beard growing under there. What does Becky and Lyra get for you out of palm trees? Because, you know, obviously Becky made her look like a fool. It was only supposed to hold her arm up in victory, and she made her parade her around the ring and put the belt on her, and Lyra finally, you know, got her lick back for it. But what would you put this at its core?
Bird Lady is better than me because I would have dog walked that lady again before I paraded her out around the ring and put the belt on her.
Would have had me like Killer Kelly and Masha Slamovich with the leash.
Correct. Make their next one a strap match.
Ooh. We haven't seen a women's strap match. I
know you're listening to me, Hunter. Make it a strap match. When was the last time we saw a women's strap match in W television?
I don't think we've ever seen a women's strap match. I don't believe we've ever seen it.
Let's make that happen. And if there's anybody to do it, again, because of storyline, and I do enjoy Becky's storyline work, and like her character work, she can pull that off.
I'm not mad at that. A strap match kind of could work for these two. I think you might be onto something there, Tortellini. I mean, last woman standing, strap match, best 2 out of 3 falls.
That's too easy. That's too easy. You might as well just hand the belt back to Becky. Well, I mean, they did. But it has to be a strap match. Put both of them in sort of a handicap situation.
Yeah.
See who the real is.
Let's see who the real Hooper is. All right, I like it, Turtley. You're on fire tonight. Oh man, we have missed you here on this show. Out of palm trees, what are you giving it?
Personally, this went on about 5 minutes and 20 seconds too long for me, including the post beat down. 3 3/4.
Okay, I'm at 3.5. I'm at 3.5, so we're really calm. What's the palm tree? Well, Shadow, come on now. You should know this by now. So Shadow, man. I like to. There was a post beatdown. Yes, there was a post beatdown. You were snoozing, dog. You were snoozing on the job.
That lady to high hail.
She beat the shit out of her post match. For Lyra and Becky. Oh, okay. 1.5. Damn. No, the palm tree is our trivial ranking system here for the matches instead because everyone, instead of stars, everyone does stars or out of this. I like to make things fun and kind of go themed. Like last for Double or Nothing, I did everything out of cacti, because it was in Arizona and we have a surplus of cactus. So I was ranking matches out of cactus. I use nipples. There you go. I mean, hey, if it works for you,
Wade Barrett apparently.
I was gonna say you and Wade Barrett have a lot. Wade Barrett. You are staring at the nipples here because that man said, "I know."
He said, "I know what they look like.
I know what those nipples. I know whose nipples are whose nipples." So now I need a WWE social. That was a fantastic segue. Now I need a WWE social media exclusive of Wade Barrett trying to guess whose nipples are whose, where we just see nipples, pecs and nipples, and he's got to guess. Oh, those are Randy Orton's. Oh, those are John Cena's. Oh, those are Logan Paul's.
No, that's definitely a Karrion Kross.
That's definitely.
Line it up, boys.
Go ahead, let's go. WWE social media. Come on, let's go. What I don't have to do your fucking job.
Get a lot of views.
Be a spicy. You have to put it on.
The views are there, man. The views are there.
Wade new shirt says Barrett and just a bunch of nips on the back
with everybody's signature.
Everyone, listen. If I'm a real sicko, and you go to SmackDown, just put up a poster of. Just bring a poster of nipples. I don't know.
Would they let that in?
They're not gonna let that in. But just bring nipples and just have words that say, "Wait, do you know whose these are?
Wait, whose are these?
Whose are these?" And see if he can guess it.
They should make that like you know how they do like little game shows in between like live segments when you're at the shows.
Guess the nips.
Guess the nips. Just Wade Barrett in the ring. Bro, wait, we really got to talk about the men's match. Hang on.
The nipples, baby. Show me the nipples.
Listen, between Wade's tingle in his loins and him talking about the nips, that is one freaking prize.
My man Wade.
I love him
loins
so
were
bad.
tingling. His loins were tingling. He pulled out his phone so fast when LA Knight got on that desk. He said, "I gotta take a picture. Hold on."
Another Nexus mention in Big 2025.
Happy 15 years to Wade. 15 years ago.
We're
bringing the band back together.
Noticing.
We're bringing the band back together.
I mean, he apologized for not finishing the job.
He did apologize.
I'm just saying, there's still time, baby. Ain't no time like the present.
Wade Barrett, you're the next contestant on Guess Those Nips. Listen, before we even talk about the match, I have to talk about the absolute stupidity that took place during the commentary of this match, starting with Wade Barrett talking about the nipples. then them segueing into the Wikipedia page argument for about 10 minutes of this match. Commentary was bickering with one another, arguing over El Grande Americano.
I did not know the fourth wall, brother.
I had no idea what the fuck was going on.
I was like, are we really arguing about the Wikipedia page?
Rip. Pain.
I'm dead.
I like how they went off track and just let the wrestler showcase without overcalling it. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could positive spin that. I mean, I thought I was sitting there and I'm like, these guys are just fucking arguing about El Grande Americano. They're just bickering. I thought I was watching an episode of The View for a minute there.
Why can we get on with the graps? Like, what are y'all doing?
There was no commentary. They were just, well, I looked at the Wikipedia page and guess where it routes me? It routes me right back to Chad Gable's page.
Don't put Wade Barrett and Pat together no more.
Why? I didn't mind them. Pat,
I didn't mind it, but it just like,
listen, college football is almost here, so we
got distracted from like a lot of things during this, and I'm like, okay, let's just stick to the show, please.
You're either next to us or you're against us.
True. They
had one of the best theme songs. We are one. We are. Oh my god, it was a bop. It's a Canadian destroyer. Call it that. Fuck me. We don't have many things left to claim.
I have something to say about that.
Okay, shoot.
Because I tweeted a couple weeks ago, like when Penta first debuted and they said Mexican destroyer, I was like, so it changes ethnicities depending on who's doing it? Because every so often they'll be like, okay, it's a Canadian destroyer. Now it's a Mexican destroyer. What's next? The Aussie destroyer? What are we doing?
I mean, I need the Don to hit one of them and then call it the Gabagool destroyer or something.
Right? Like, what are we gonna call it?
I need it so bad. I need it so bad. Man.
Like, for real, if EO hits one, what are you gonna call it?
I plead the
exactly.
fifth. I plead the fifth.
Exactly. All the WWE is about to plead the fifth.
I plead the fifth. Oh man, it's like when NXT when that stupid fan was telling EO and she corrected them on where she's from. Roxy does it, called it the Pop Rocks or something, call it a Code Red. Like, no, the technical term is Canadian Destroyer. Yeah, I mean, Shadow, you know, listen, being from the North, I get your feelings on that.
Yeah, but like, if everyone else calls it a Canadian Destroyer, just call it a Canadian Destroyer, or just call it a Destroyer. Like, we don't even have to put the thing in front of it.
Call it the Rising Sun. Okay, that's pretty solid. Like, isn't there a Rising Sun move already? Anyway, men's Money in the Bank. We got Penta Zero Miedo. We got Andrade El Idolo. We've got Seth freaking Rollins. We've got Solo Sikoa. We've got LA Knight. Yeah. We've got El Grande Americano. And thanks to Chad Gable and the Creed brothers, the Fireball ladder was set up under the ring. So yes, folks, it is true. We do have. Oh, please, with your question.
Hey, W. Fireball. What year is this? It is giving 2010 in a dark frat basement.
I was gonna say.
Are y'all broke? I'm confused. Fireball? Y'all got Cody promoting like Wheatley vodka and Fireball,
baby. I feel like I'm back in some dingy basement in high school, sneaking Fireball shots.
I had war flashbacks.
It's war. I feel war is not over.
I felt the acid reflux building.
What was the blue UV or whatever? Oh man. Please. From my college days, it was Fleshman's vodka. Yeah. And then Kirkland brand vodka.
Hey, wait, don't sleep on Costco.
It's Grey Goose.
Hang on, don't sleep on Costco.
I'm not sleeping. A little UV blue in there. What was the other one? The vodka, the vanilla vodka everyone would drink. You know which one I'm talking about. It was in like the circular-esque bottle. Oh yeah.
Pinnacle Whipped.
Oh baby. The cotton candy one? Oh, God. Oh, God.
This is where, like,
the
you take me off the
Appleton
game completely.
The
And
Sarah
honestly,
Berry?
if y'all are just getting all the nasty alcohol for sponsors, go ahead and throw Burnett's in there.
There it is. That's the other one I was thinking about. Burnett's.
Throw Svedka up there. Like, come on.
Oh, shit. Listen,
if you're going to do it right.
Listen, Seagram's Spike Seltzer sponsored the Lyra Becky match. You had Cash App sponsoring Money in the Bank, which that's good. That's good brand.
That's actually really good branding.
That's
I noticed that and I was like, oh, I like that.
That's pretty smart on their part. They probably paid an arm and a leg, but they got Money in the Bank. But I'm gonna have to get a cymbal sound effect for the fucking show one of these days. We're gonna have to get some sound effects. We're gonna have some mixing board. So commentary off the rails. This match starts off with everyone beating the shit out of Seth and Solo, and then this thing
because the way Seth had his goons running through everybody last night, and then he got in the ring today, thought shit was sweet. They jumped him, and then Solo. I realized he was doing everybody's like chant. Because I didn't realize when he was looking at LA Knight, he did the thing. And then I saw him do Penta's thing. I said, oh no, sweetheart, they're about to beat your ass.
Dude, he was the comedy act of the evening.
That is what I needed. Solo, I didn't know that I needed Solo in this match simply for comedic timing alone.
He was hilarious. Like, his mannerisms, his movements, him doing
He's a little Jimmy for real. He's little Jimmy for real. That I want more Solo. I've really enjoyed, which is weird because, like, again, I wasn't really on the Solo train for a while. Correct, but like,
put this man in a thong and have him start putting his ass in people's faces, baby.
Seeing him go from like this super stoic, like, no, it's all about me and the family, to I don't even know what he's doing now, and I love it. I love every second of it. He's so unserious. He's
just like me. Solo just like me. That's exactly how I'd be as a fucking wrestler. I'd be thinking it should be funny. I'd be like, yeah. Oh, we're boys. Come on, let's go.
No, like, I'm going to act a fool in the ring. Sorry.
Oh man. But we finally did get it. We're gonna be all over the map here for this Money in the Bank. So if you are not like us and had suffered from severe ADHD, buckle up, Buttercup. Because we're gonna be jumping around like on a trampoline. So while we're on the subject of Solo, the backup comes out for Solo. Jacob Fatu, JC Mateo, still
That's okay.
Tough. And we finally get it. We finally get it. We don't get like we finally get the turn, but it wasn't like as what I was expecting. I expected Jacob Fatu to hit us with the "I hate you, Solo," but he just said "I hate you." When I was kind of like, I needed that little extra Solo. Say the thing, you know. So he's out. That's it. Bloodline, whatever remnants, whatever crumbs string, it's cut. The cord has been cut. The birds have been kicked out of the nest. There is no more bloodline. It's done. Now what will probably next up will be the Four Loco 4-way. Fireball needs to sponsor a fucking Inferno match. That would have made more sense. And your cohort, Mark, Eric said we need a life insurance company to sponsor a Buried Alive match. So, if that can bring us back the Buried Alive match, I'm all for Farmers Life Insurance getting the sponsorship. We are farmers.
I have some thoughts about this men's match.
Here's something. Jeff Cobb's just a fat punk.
Put some respect on Jeff Cobb. Hang on.
2004 Olympian Jeff Cobb.
Now, there were 2 sneaks in this match.
Okay.
One of these spots should have gone to Karrion Kross, and the other one should have gone to Carmelo Hayes. Andrade, I love you deeply. You know I love me some El Idolo. This wasn't for you. Also, y'all can go ahead and get that Starbucks drink up out of here. Carmelo Hayes should have been in it. There's no reason that he was in this match. The optics of Chad Gable in this match as the Starbucks drink after Worlds Collide on top of being in a match with Luch.
You're killing me, bro. You're killing me tonight.
Are we
dead.
stupid or are we dumb?
They're stupid. It's getting to a point.
Just terrible for me. And it kind of took me out of the match a little bit when they did his entrance. I said, exactly, no pop. I heard it. You can't fake that. I heard it. There was no pop, not a single one.
I don't know what the end game is for the Americano gimmick for the Starbucks drink.
I don't understand why it started.
No, that's a good point, Shadow. It's a good point. Yeah,
but at least the guys funny.
Yeah. Well, I would say that
funny. But honestly, I kind of like Elias.
I think Kevin Owens was the one that made the Ezekiel thing work the most. If it wasn't for Kevin Owens, I don't think that whole thing worked.
I don't think it really would have worked.
No.
But there's no one willing to make this work because it's a fuck ass gimmick.
It is.
I don't know what else to say.
Let's. Can we? I see. I don't want to go on these tangents about things, but I mean, fuck it. We ball, right? We're here. We're here for a reason. We're here to talk wrestling. Poor Chad Gable. In the history of Chad Gable came in as the fresh, polished baby face with his tag team partner, Olympian. You know, him and Jason Jordan were multiple-time tag team champions, and then they break him up, and Jason Jordan is Kurt Angle's illegitimate son, which that should have been flipped around. We're not going to get into it. Right. It should have always been the other way around. But then, obviously, disaster strikes. Jason Jordan, ends up having to retire from in-ring participation, and Chad Gable goes on to have a singles career. Chad Gable also then gets placed as Shorty G, a man whose entire gimmick was them making fun of him because he was short. Somehow he survived that. Okay. And then we finally get the American or the Alpha Academy. And I'm like,
gorgeous era. I miss
it. Finally, we're going to reignite Team Angle, but we're going to do it in a comedy way with Otis and Akira Tozawa. But that's okay because Chad can still be an upper mid-card guy.
He's still hooping regardless.
His nails are scratching at the Intercontinental Championship from Gunther, and they decide the right person to dethrone Gunther is Sami Zayn at WrestleMania instead. Now,
it wasn't, but we move.
He turns heel, cuts off Alpha Academy, makes out the American Made with the Creed brothers in a serious version of Team Angle this time. And now, after that, he still can't capture singles gold. And now he's resorted to playing a Starbucks drink, El Grande Americano. And to be honest,
it's not working.
It's not. At first I said, ha, 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 very funny. Then they started doing AI slop artwork and graphics and beating the piss out of it.
They dug themselves a 20-foot hole.
And I said, wow, we have strayed so far from the vision that I thought we were going to do here with this. I thought this was just going to be a way to introduce AAA into WWE by having a AAA star beat the living piss out of him, unmask him, and then put some prestige back on Lucha Libre wrestling.
Thank you.
Now it's transformed into this.
Now we're on some bullshit.
So, long tangent, but a valid tangent because it kind of we have to look at it and say, we all know it's Chad. We saw the tattoo of the Olympic ring.
The boots,
the taped arm today, Michael Cole.
The Wikipedia page. Argument.
Yeah. If you want to get crazy, you could go look at the nipples later on your free time, and you could probably see that there's nipples
on your browsers.
Your free time, not on my time.
Not mine.
I have to transition to a completely different platform. But nevertheless, tangent over. This ladder match had some really slick moments in it, Tortellini. We can't deny that. This ladder match was good. This was a top men's ladder match. It was. We have to call it like it is.
Given recent years, yeah.
Given recent years.
I just feel like there was no cohesiveness with the talent. Like how I said, like the women worked really well together. I'm not saying that the men didn't work well together, but it's just like it almost felt like too many competing styles all at once. And like I understand Solo's point, like role in this, but if it almost felt like, okay, everybody's against Seth, but Penta and Andrade are now beefing because they just tagged together on Friday, but now they kind of have to beat the living shit out of each other. But then you got LA Knight in here. Who does he have beef with? For real?
He had Solo.
I guess.
He had beef with Solo. Seth obviously has beef with everyone. Andrade and Penta.
Everybody's got beef with Seth because he decided to I was about to say something real heinous, and then I don't want you to get fined. Seth decided to just run through everybody last night.
I'd love to know because
I was gonna say he ran a train on everybody last night, but that was not proper phrasing.
That's it kind of did.
So I get why like everybody is in this match and mad at Seth, but it just I don't know.
It's it was like when they had me, man. They had me in the first half with this when they were going through and they were getting participants in. They were like LA Knight's in. I was like, ooh, baby. Seth Rollins is in. I was like, ooh, baby. Penta's in. I said, ooh, ooh. I said, oh, I like Andrade's in. I was like, ooh, okay, all right. He's usually good in them matches. And then they said, ooh, El Grande Americano's in over AJ Styles and CM Punk. And I said, huh? You what?
So we weren't gonna put AJ Styles, a certified hooper, in here.
I think
maybe that's what was missing for me. An actual like veteran in the ring. Because I mean, yes, okay, we have Seth, but we've seen Seth sneeze.
Yeah. But
Penta's fresh, right? He just got here. Andrade hoops, we all know that. Chad Gable hoops, we know that. But like a true to the mat ring worker would have benefited everybody here. Me personally, I think I just selfishly wanted to see Penta and AJ Styles go at it.
I'd like to see that at some point. I mean, I don't know.
Hunter, again, I know you're listening. AJ's on Raw now. Make it happen.
Yeah, we can make things happen. Listen, but thanks. And here's where things get even crazier. I said Roman was going to come out and screw Seth in this match. I thought CM Punk was going to come out and screw Seth in this match. We didn't get anything. Seth wins the Money in the Bank briefcase after curb stomping LA Knight. LA Knight was the last one to have his fingers on that briefcase. And once again, unfortunately, in a similar situation, I hope it doesn't become a similar situation like Naomi, but LA Knight, the bridesmaid, once again, instead of being the bride here, and Seth frickin' Rollins is now a 2-time Money in the Bank briefcase winner and has all the makings now to control his own fate in WWE. So where do we go from here?
Aleister Black.
You think Aleister Black after that face off on Friday?
Soon. Not just yet, but soon.
He still has the eye.
An eye for an eye, man. But I guess I'm more confused. One, I just don't like repeat winners. Sorry, I am not a fan of repeat winners. I feel like Money in the Bank is to like establish somebody new. And I've said this before, and I feel like we've lost kind of the sole point of Money in the Bank.
Yes. We have. We have to an extent we have. But for Naomi, it was different. But this in this sense.
Naomi was different. Totally different. That's totally different. But like for Seth to win again, I just question why. Like he's again, don't come for me. I understand how this works, y'all. It's all a power trip, right? That's essentially what this is. But he could have done all of that just with the Goon Squad alone. He didn't need the briefcase for that.
No, I felt that LA Knight needed this. I felt that, even we could get crazy and say Solo could have used this, but I think Solo's story arc made sense here.
This is quite literally what I wrote down. I shit you not. I said I wanted Solo or Penta to win, right? Hear me out. Penta wins, cashes in on Dirty Dom at SummerSlam, right? Then we officially get the end of the Judgment Day for good. Liv Dom breaks up, whole thing comes crumbling down. Fantastic. Or if Solo won, he cashes in on Jacob, but then somehow wins with the distraction from like Usos, JC Mateo, whoever they want to be. Then somehow Jimmy gets the belt off him at SummerSlam.
Wow.
I had it all figured out.
Wow.
Hunter killed my plan.
That's crazy. So this is an interesting comment here. Shout out to Doughboy. You think his cash in will be successful? And what if Roman gets him that way? That's what I was also thinking.
And that brings me back to my other point. When you mentioned that commentary was talking about how successful the women's were, they spent a little bit more time on talking about how the men have just failed.
Yes.
And they went through like, okay, here's however many out of this many cash-ins have been successful. Here's how many that they've lost. Like they pretty much recap the whole thing. So that I don't think Seth is going to cash in successfully. Not as long as CM Punk has air in his lungs and Roman Reigns owns a black pair of cargos. He will not succeed in that cash in.
And this is a good comment from Shadow. This could also further Punk and Seth because both now are 2-time winners. This kid.
In an earlier promo, Punk said something to Seth about being a 2-time winner.
Yep. Seth has always lived in the shadow of Punk. And it's always been this kind of like behind the door, behind the scenes, like they're trying to outdo one another, it seems like. And this is another key point in this now. Seth is now a 2-time Money in the Bank winner. That was something that Punk had over Seth. And then before last year, Seth had over the fact that he main evented WrestleMania. Then Punk got his WrestleMania main event, and now they were pretty much even at that point. And then the only thing that really Punk had on Seth at that point was he had a longer title reign, and he was also a 2-time Money in the Bank winner. Now they're pretty much neck and neck here. I think there's a small difference in how many championships each have held, of course. And I think now that's the only thing is time of championships held and times one of championships. So we may end up getting to a point when both of these guys are finished with their careers that they might have similar stat lines at the end of their careers. Like, I think Seth can go probably 5 more years than Punk can go because Punk is in his mid-40s, where Seth is in his early 30s. So he has the age aspect on
Seth
him.
Just turned 40.
Who? Seth?
I think he just turned 40.
Seth's 40? Seth Rollins is 40 years old?
His birthday was recently.
Oh my God, he's 39 years old. Oh my God, I'm old as fuck. His birthday was May 28th.
He is only 39. My bad. Sorry, he's 39. Sorry, Seth.
39. But still, he's almost 40. So yeah, I mean, Punk is what, 45 or 46?
Mm-hmm. He's mid 40s, definitely.
46, yeah, 46. He'll be 47 in October of this year. That's why I was confused because he don't need the briefcase. He's got the wise man. Exactly. That's the thing. That's the big point about this. Seth didn't need the briefcase. He has Paul Heyman. Heyman can flap his jaws at any time.
This is also why Seth is gonna fail.
Because of the wise man.
Because of the wise man. But I also think that Braun's ego is going to overpower the fact that knowing the fact that Seth has the briefcase and has access to a title and he just lost his. And then you've got Bronson Reed, who really does have an argument to screw Seth because, he was almost in a title position and then he got injured, right? So then you see Seth with this type of power and you're like, hang on, big dog. No. So they're going to screw him up. And if I see Seth take a spear from Braun Breaker, you will hear me screech all the way in Adelaide, South Australia.
I don't doubt that. In my opinion, Seth didn't need that briefcase. Nope, he didn't.
Nope.
Bronson Reed was the man who hit Seth with 1,000,000 natural disasters and Seth lived. Also, we never told that
story
off. We never told that off. Don't tell me y'all think this was a setup for Roman and Wiseman. No, I actually don't. I think Paul and Roman's time is done. I think there was a point in the 4 years of the Roman reign that I would say by year 3, we didn't need Paul anymore because Roman had become such a better promo over those years, which is crazy to say. But at year 3, at that time, I felt that
we all remember suffering succotash.
So, right. I think at year 3, I was at to a point where I was like, okay, Roman doesn't need Paul for a mouthpiece anymore. He can cut his own promos. And that's how I feel about this Seth and Paul pairing is like Seth never really needed somebody to talk for him. And Paul really doesn't do a lot of talking. I think it's just going to be a Roman is on his own island. I think, the island of relevancy becomes the island of one.
I was going to say, it's the island of one now.
He's on his own island and he's coming back to get his lick back on Seth. So I think, Doughboy, I think you're right. I think Roman somehow, some way costs Seth his cash in, or if they decide to hold Roman out of this, it's CM Punk.
Now, Roman and Aleister Black and CM Punk somehow team up to screw Seth Rollins.
Now, that'd be interesting.
Delicious.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Correct.
So it'd be an interesting... Seth, with this briefcase, the big thing is the Money in the Bank bait. We have Money in the Bank cash-in bait here. Monday Night Raw, we have a World Heavyweight Championship match. We have Gunther versus Jey Uso. And this Monday Night Raw will actually take place in Phoenix, Arizona. So your boy MOWM will be there Monday to see this take place. So hopefully I am a good tiding or a bad omen for Seth, because the last time I went to a show out here that was WWE, Tiffany Stratton cashed in and successfully. I was there for that cash in. So let's see if maybe me going.
I don't think you can go to that show on Monday, big dog.
You don't think so? You thinking I go Seth successfully cashes in on Jay?
If you go and he successfully cashes in, that's going to be your fault, right?
It's my fault. Yeah, I have to come on the Nightcap and.
Yeah, you're gonna have to apologize for that one.
I have to put a statement out there. But man, oh man, what an incredible Money in the Bank ladder match! Though.
Also, the other thing that really irritated me, the convoluted way that we spent 10 to 15 minutes dragging out Sethington getting to the briefcase. Y'all could have done that last night on SmackDown. I'm so sorry.
Nightcap from the parking lot, folks. Next Monday, get ready. But more like parking garage. I don't think we'll get service. Could have had Seth win King of the Ring. There's a lot of different options here. But listen, action-wise, I really enjoyed the action. I thought the ladder bridge to the ladder with Chad or Americano climbing up it. LA Knight hitting the Fisherman's Buster off the top there.
And if there's one thing I love, it is a Fisherman's Buster.
It is a Fisherman's Buster. Solo getting put through the ladder by Jacob with the spinning solo. Man, Andrade hooped a little bit in this match. He had a little bit of a slip up, but he hooped pretty much. Penta, I think, was your MVP. You said Roxanne was your MVP. I think Penta was my MVP.
Penta is my MVP of this match.
Yeah, I think he was my MVP. Close second, LA Knight, because LA Knight did do a lot.
Agreed.
Cap in the parking lot sounds good, unless at least it's not the NXT parking lot.
Correct.
I'd be getting jumped by the color. Don Spears be jumping my ass. Izzy Dane would have it healed to my fucking skull. The culling
you gotta
would
watch
be.
Out for Stacks.
I gotta watch out for Stacks, that son of a bitch, that traitorous bastard. Seth MVP calling the ladder spots with Chad, jumping and the move off of it. Yes. Seth was dangling by his ankles for a bit there before Penta hit the Canadian Destroyer. Gotcha, Shadow. On the ladder to Andrade, which was also insane.
I don't know who was on that camera angle, but Kevin Dunn, get the hell out my arena. They literally flipped the camera. So you see Penta flipping Andrade, and then they flip to underneath the ladder. Why? Why would you do that?
There was a cool camera shot, though, in the Cena match, though, with the drone. That was pretty cool.
We're going to talk about that. Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about it. Money in the Bank, men's Money in the Bank. We've talked a lot about this. I feel like we've kind of beat the shit out of this one tonight. Any other thoughts that you have, Tortellini, before we do talk about the main event and the craziness that ensued after the main event?
How is Seth going to top his 2015 cash-in?
You don't.
That's why I'm saying he's failing. You can't top that.
You can't recreate greatness.
Mm-mm.
That was, in my personal opinion, that is the greatest Money in the Bank cash-in ever, hands down, ever.
Easily.
Ever.
Easily.
7.5 palms, baby.
Oh, that's generous.
That's. I was gonna say I'm gonna give it 5 out of 5 palm trees.
I'd say 4.
4. Okay. Would have been a 10, but Americano was in it.
Correct.
What if Seth gives it to Braun to cash in? Interesting.
On who? Oh, does he spear Jey Uso to get that belt? Let me not write that for Triple H.
No, yeah, we don't want to give Triple H any more of our ideas because he went from triple threats to fatal 4-ways after last week, and we said that, and that's kind of crazy. No, so we have. This is insane. I don't even know where to begin with this here. John Cena and Logan Paul are tag teaming against the American Night Yeets, the Yeet Mares, Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. I guess Yeet Mares were.
Think they call themselves the Yeet Mares, or maybe that's what the IWC is calling them, but I kind of like Yeet Mares.
Yeet Mares is fire. I mean, I like the Yeet Mares. That's a MOWM original here. I haven't seen anybody on the IWC put that one out there. The Yeet Mares, the American Yeet Mares.
I'm here for it. Yeah.
I mean,
again, I think this match went on a little too long for me.
There was a lot of this was a finisher fest.
And I'm gonna say something, and don't y'all fight me because I know how you girls like to tussle. Everybody in this match got 5 moves of doom, or what the fuck was I looking at? I'm so sorry. Cool. Disaster kick, AA, 5-knuckle shuffle, frog splash, super kick, crossroads. Neat.
Yeah.
Neat.
It was an entire. Cool. It was just all of the finisher signature moves for every guy.
And unfortunately, I really didn't pay attention to this match. I won't hold you. However, I would be remiss if I did not note the following. As much as I don't like that YouTuber, that moonsault was fire.
That moonsault was crispy, man. I have to give him that.
And the drone, the drone shot.
Him catching the drone and flying the drone into his hand for his entrance was sick. And then him doing the drone shot, from the Cody Rhodes suplex, and then he gets hit with the frog splash. I thought that was all pretty nifty. But Logan Paul, he fucked up. And everyone likes to say... I
was waiting for him to hit John Cena so bad. I was waiting.
They need to get couples counseling. Those two were bickering like...
Yeah, I was like, oh, the girls are arguing in the ring. Okay.
Arguing in the ring. You said that. You said that like somebody else who said that this week. You said it just like her. If you know, you know.
Interesting. Yeah, again, this whole match was about 24 minutes. Again, went on, should have capped it at 15. The big pop for me, though, the black cargos had me in the first half. I won't lie to you. I saw the black cargos and got real scared. I was like, brother, you're about 20 minutes late.
Yeah.
You're 20 minutes late.
I was like, who? It was R-Truth.
Are we being worked into a shoot that got shot back to a work?
So let's try to digest this. R-Truth helps Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso win this match after he clunked Cena in the head with the WWE Championship. Now, big notice here. I wish I had a photo of it, but unfortunately I couldn't find one. But I want to take note. R-Truth was wearing black Air Force Ones. Now, if you know, you know.
If you know what black Air Forces mean, you know. That is NXT parking lot behavior.
That is you do not want to fuck. You do not want to fuck with R-Truth right now. And it's not even R-Truth. We're not even advertising this as R-Truth. It is Ron Killings.
Correct.
So, Ron Killings. Now, we heard the news that R-Truth, Ron Killings' contract was not being renewed by WWE last Sunday. It's not even a week to the date.
Not even
so
a
last
week
Sunday.
removed.
Middle of the afternoon, this news broke, and this sent the entire internet wrestling community into an absolute frenzy.
You had wrestlers from other promotions coming out the woodworks saying, yo, what's going on? Y'all are making a mistake. Like, this is not, there's no reason that you're letting him go.
He's back. So this is one of those situations. Now, Pro Wrestling Insider is reporting that after fan backlash, WWE has decided within the last 72 hours to offer a contract back to R-Truth and re-sign R-Truth. Now, Triple H tonight in the press conference said, yeah, this is all part of the show. You have to just sit back and watch, essentially. When
he says that every post show.
So it is bullshit. It is bullshit. You know, also, Ellie, only town Cena hits twice in the tour. This is true. Cena does hit he did hit California twice. This is an interesting thing. Now, Shadow tweeted earlier, you'll see the retweet on my profile, that he kind of called this being a work. Had buried Truth earlier tonight, calling him a loony who wasn't even in the company anymore.
Correct. And then they said something about the fact that, you know, he couldn't come to an agreement with his contract and he left WWE.
Right.
That's not what we saw.
This is
not the tweet I read.
That's what I'm saying. Look at the shirt Rhea wore Monday. How are you going to tell me it's
They made her take off the shirt.
She was wearing the shirt, but that's the crazy part is the shirt that she was wearing Monday was the new shirt that just released by WWE Shop that just came out. So let's kind of, I guess we could probably look at that here, you know, briefly on the Nightcap here.
And then they pulled it from the website.
Right. It was pulled from the website, and now it is back on the website. So let's see if we can just kind of.
So what? No pun intended.
Show this off.
The truth here?
So here's the shirt. This is the very shirt in question that Rhea was wearing on Raw Monday that they forced her to take off when she was wearing just her, I don't know, sports bra or whatever in that backstage segment with Steph. So is it a work? I don't think. I don't know what to think. This is one of those things where WWE kind of has us by the balls. They can spin this however they want, and we'll never know the truth until R-Truth goes and interviews and does an interview if he's not related to WWE or whatever the case may be here. So if it's a work, holy shit, we live in a different time of WWE, because WWE is not afraid now to fake a release and make you believe that they've released or not renewed one of your favorite superstars. That's
also very scary.
And that's a very scary thing. On the other side, if this was a situation where it was a course correction that they saw the backlash from the fans over the last week and a half because they hijacked Raw Monday, they hijacked SmackDown, they did it on NXT, they did it in fucking Dynamite, okay? They did it at TNA last night. I was there. I heard it with my own ears during the main event and during the Knockouts Women's Championship match. Both times it happened during We Want Truth chants happened in TNA last night. We heard them tonight during Worlds Collide. We heard it during the pre-show. We heard it during Money in the Bank. All throughout the night, to the point where they were muting the chants in the beginning of the show. Michael Cole even made a reference to R-Truth on commentary, kind of a slight reference to him during the show, and they kind of dismissed it. And then he appears at the end of the show and attacks Cena, and here we are. Speculation is running rampant. Was it a work? Was this a course correction by WWE? I personally think they heard us, and they said, fuck, we fucked up.
But this would be interesting if this was a pre-planned thing in the sense that, okay, R-Truth is not coming back, but the fact that they referred to him as Ron Killings, I wonder if that's like especially since he came out in all black and Black Forces, is this a new almost brand? A new branding for R-Truth?
It could be. This could be a moment where
it's to a more, I don't want to say like, I don't want him to like not be a silly goose anymore, but I feel like this may pivot him to a slightly more serious gimmick.
What if it's a R-Truth has finally woken up? Let's just hear me out. What if they sell this in the sense of Ron Killings comes out and he cuts a serious promo and he says, for the last 15 years, I was under the spell of the WWE, or I wasn't myself or something. And like, he plays it off and he's like, it took being beat by my childhood John Cena for me to finally realize that I hate John Cena, or I am, this is who
like
I am.
Everything I thought I knew was a lie.
Right. And now he has to rework who he is as an entire person. And now maybe the first thing we see is R-Truth backstage and he gets everyone's names right. What if he walks past Tommaso Ciampa and is like, hey, Ciampa?
And Ciampa's like,
past,
who?
Who? What did you just say, Truth? Or he walks past Triple H and he goes, oh, hey, Paul. Thanks for re-signing me. Or hey.
Hey, Hunter.
Yeah, something like that. Like, I could see them having this come out where R-Truth comes out and like he doesn't even remember the last 15 years of his career.
No. And then he'll come back and be like, oh, Dominic Mysterio, how you doing, brother?
Yeah. Like, I'm not Tom and Nick Mysterio.
Tom and Nick, what?
This is such a weird thing for me. I think it's saving face. I think it's WWE saving face.
Oh, excuse me. I really feel like this was a saving face moment because there's no way. I mean, the backlash that got. They dragged W through the mud for 40 days and 40 nights, respectfully. Because you don't just drop news like that. That's not real. That's like saying, oh, yeah, so we gave John Cena the belt, but we're actually just going to cut his contract right now. Bye.
Yeah.
We're going to get right here at Money in the Bank. Peace.
Yeah, this is a weird thing. So, beautiful thing about wrestling is that there are times that we truly don't know what's going on. Even smart marks like me can't predict this shit. No, 100%. I didn't see this happening tonight. I thought before everything, kind of what Shadow said in the comments is that I thought he was going to show up at TNA. I really thought he was going to show up last night at Against All Odds because his contract expired and he could show up anywhere he wanted. This could be a way to intertwine the two, even with more history. And you could maybe even say Ron Killings is a former NWA champion.
Yeah.
You could say, oh, Ron Killings was in TNA. This could be something that we have no idea. Didn't Truth have a storyline back in the day with The Miz involving Triple H and Hell in a Cell? Yes, he did. The entire company walked out. Maybe that's what we're leading to. Maybe R-Truth is gonna, and that's why The Miz took all the WWE shit out of his bio and everything.
Followed them.
And maybe this is gonna be something where we head into a revolt or something. I have no idea where we're headed here with anything now, but it does seem like Triple H has a pattern. So it looks like because John Cena pinned Cody Rhodes pinned Cena tonight at Money in the Bank. I think that's the SummerSlam match.
That is a
similar thing happened last year with Money in the Bank.
Where's Randy?
Randy is unfound right now. He's missing in action. MIA.
I don't like that. Because we just dropped off from that Randy storyline a little too quick.
Let's see. So Sean Ross Sapp says there is not one person in WWE behind the scenes claiming that the R-Truth contract expiration was a work. Not one. Not even it could have been. A lot of people were very upset he was gone. So I don't think this was a work. I think this was WWE saving face and them realizing, oh, wow, we fucked up. I think it's a we fucked up situation.
Okay.
Yeah. I truly feel that this was a course correction. I think we're for a good story with Ron Killings because now that he won't be the comedian anymore, I think we are in for something.
I think this is really good, depending on how they play this.
Just by Truth hitting Cena with the belt, and then of course Truth wearing the black Air Forces, that just is for me foreshadowing that we're going to see a more aggressive, serious Truth, and no more bullshit. I think it's going to be Truth beating the shit out of people.
I'm here for
what
it.
would you, I mean, you're very passionate about this tag match tonight. You said it was a stink show, but what would you give it out of palm trees?
3.5.
3.5. I'm right there with you. 3.5. I'm right there with you. I think the Money in the Bank ladder matches was the draw tonight. Both of them for me exceeded expectations, even with the Americano sideshow. Lyra, Dom, and this match I think felt a little flat.
Lyra hooped, but the match overall is just kind of.
Give me y'all opinion about Jacob doing the Samoan drop on Bronson Reed. I'm gonna need them to run that back. I need to see I need to see big meaty men
slapping meat.
Slapping that meat. All right. We can talk nipples. We can talk everything. I want to see the meat. All right.
You can have your 5-star classics. You can have your Iron Man matches. You can have your 60-minute classics. You can have.
I don't want them.
I don't want them.
Give me 2.
Also, would love to know, Bronson Reed, babe, whatever workout plan you've been hitting.
Looks amazing.
I see the work, brother. However, that still does not explain how Jacob Fatu hit a pop-up Samoan drop on big Bronson Reed.
He's an animal. He's a
that
different
man
beast.
Was built, and then to hit a top rope moonsault and a suicide dive immediately after that, like nothing ever happened. Did he get his knees on Amazon Prime, and can I order a pair?
He's an animal, dude. He's an absolute fucking animal. Both of those guys are animals. The other thing that I failed to mention, though, a lot of people hate on Jey Uso in ring work. Tonight, Jey Uso saved a huge spot in this match when Logan Paul fucked up the buckshot lariat, and Jay, without even skipping a beat, hit him with a super kick to save that segment. He saved that spot.
Real workers.
That is right there. Veteran prowess. That is the veteran prowess that I like to see from my wrestlers, from my world heavyweight champion.
I don't think that in that instance, and they said it on commentary too, Logan has had 20 matches. That's 20 matches does not a ring veteran make.
No.
I don't think he would have had the awareness to be like, okay, I need to recover this spot somehow.
Yeah, true. Now we have consequences. Consequences Creed coming back too while we're at it. Consequences Creed? Oh, I've talked too much. For one night. Oh man, what an absolute day of professional wrestling.
Show, man.
What a show. What a nightcap here, folks. Thanks to all of you guys for hanging out with us. I have to say, when Fightful was running their show, we were right there, top 3 on Twitter, man. So I gotta give you guys props for hanging out with us here on the Nightcap. Putting us in the top 3 of live streams following the Money in the Bank press conference. So thanks to all of you guys for hanging out with us. Tortellini, tell the people where they can follow you, check you out, your vibe. I know Black Masses and Constellations podcast is kind of on a little hiatus right now. She is. But tell the people where they can find you, where they can see your tweets, because Tortellini is one to you should definitely be checking out.
All right, you can follow me on that Bird app at 2_Tortellini. You can also follow me on Instagram at Tortellini_lifts for all of your wrestling and pro lifting content.
Yeah, dude, she's an absolute animal. She won't let me get her into the performance center. She's told me absolutely not. I've sent applications. Come out of my mouth. I've sent applications. We already have talked about it. Like I'm gonna be the manager.
Listen, Royal Rumble 2028. We got it.
She could squat 850 pounds. All right.
Hang on.
She's gonna hit a Samoan drop on Bronson Reed and Jacob Fatu
at the same damn time.
At the same fucking time. So go follow, go show some love here to my pasta queen. My other half of the what's our tag team? We're the Pasta Bombs.
The Pasta Bomb.
The Pasta Bomb, baby. We're hitting your TV screens real soon. Shadow said he's gonna sneak this one in. Follow that guy, Shadow91 on X. Yeah, go follow Shadow. Shadow's fucking hilarious, man. I'd pay to see that. Hey, we already got people paying to see Tortellini do a little graps. She's gonna be dropping elbows. It's gonna be over. We're coming. We're coming for the title.
Call me the next submission magician.
Let's go. Let's get it, folks. Let's get it. Crack your back like they crack the spaghetti when they put it in a pot. Yeah, I know. It's sacrilegious.
I don't even have an Italian grandmother. And that I just felt the chill.
Mine just turned in her grave. It's fine. She'll be haunting me tonight when I go to sleep. It just got about 15 degrees colder here in the studio. I'm going to be haunted later tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, sign up for Only Nips, brought to you by Wade Barrett. But the manager's got to dress like Teddy Long. I'm the manager. You want me rocking the Teddy Long? Hitting the little play it, a little shuffle coming out. I can hit it. I got a little motion. You guys don't know about MOWM. I can hit the floor.
Watch out. Mike's got the moves. Don't let him fool you.
Listen. My hips might need a little WD-40. They don't maybe move as well as Lola Vice's, but these hips and these shoulders can shimmy. That's for sure. Mike, I love you, but no. Listen.
Don't be a hater.
Like Paul Bear. Damn.
Put some respect on Mike, man.
Damn. At least like, damn. All right, listen. I'll get the urn. That's it. Whatever. We'll start wearing white makeup here, I guess. That's fine. He's cuter than Paul. I mean, hey, look, listen. I appreciate it. Listen, guys, Tortellini, thank you so much for hanging out with me here tonight. It's been great to have you back here. Hopefully, we can get you back on more often, pending everyone's schedules. Monday Night Raw looks to be a good one. World Heavyweight title shot. Gunther J. Uso, possible cash in. We got the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments kicking off, and we've got Nikki Bella. You can look, but you can't touch.
Evolution season is alive and well.
Evolution season is alive and well, folks. R-Truth is back. Ron Killings is back. The Nightcap is over. Bye, guys. We'll see you later.